In the early 1900s, Europe was a land of pride, ambition, and silent tension. Powerful empires stood tall: Germany, Austria-Hungary, Russia, France, and Britain, each trying to prove its dominance over the other. But beneath the surface, a storm was quietly building, one that would soon set the entire world on fire. For decades, Europe had been divided into two major alliances. On one side stood the Triple Alliance: Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. On the other side was the Triple Entente: Britain, France, and Russia. These alliances were meant for protection, but in truth, they became chains, pulling nations into war against their will. Industrial growth had made nations stronger than ever. Every country was building bigger armies, deadlier weapons, and more powerful battleships. It was a race for supremacy, and no one wanted to fall behind. Newspapers glorified war as a test of strength, and politicians believed victory would prove their nation's greatness. But pride is dangerous. All it needed was a spark. That spark came on June 28, 1914, in the city of Sarajevo, Bosnia. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary, was visiting with his wife, Sophie, as their car passed through the crowded streets. A young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip stepped forward and fired two bullets. Those bullets didn't just kill a royal couple, they tore through the peace of an entire continent. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia for the assassination and declared war. But Serbia had powerful friends. Russia quickly came to its defense. Germany, bound by alliance, supported Austria-Hungary. Russia. And Britain, after seeing Germany invade Belgium, joined the fight. Within a matter of weeks, the whole of Europe was burning. It was no longer a regional conflict. It was the Great War. But to say that one assassination caused the war is only half the truth. The real cause lay much deeper, in the pride, fear, and greed that had been growing for years. Europe had turned war into an obsession. Nations believed their armies defined their power. Young men were taught that dying for one's country was glorious. When you prepare for war every day, peace becomes impossible. Those so-called defense pacts made war inevitable. When one nation attacked another, six others were automatically pulled in, turning a local fight into a global disaster. European empires were competing for colonies in Africa and Asia. Germany felt left behind, jealous of Britain and France's massive empires. This competition created deep resentment and a hunger for expansion. Every country believed it was superior. People wanted to prove their nation's pride, even if it meant bloodshed. In the Balkans, smaller nations like Serbia wanted freedom from Austria-Hungary, and their passion for independence added fuel to the fire. Together, these forces made Europe a powder keg, and Sarajevo was simply the match that lit it. By August 1914, millions of soldiers marched to war believing it would end quickly. They were wrong. The war lasted more than 4 years. New weapons, machine guns, tanks, poison gas, turned battlefields into slaughterhouses. From the muddy trenches of France to the frozen plains of Eastern Europe, entire generations vanished. When the war finally ended in 1918, over 16 million people were dead, soldiers and civilians alike. Empires that had ruled for centuries, Germany's Kaiser, Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, all collapsed into dust. And the peace that followed was not peace at all. The harsh punishment of the Treaty of Versailles planted seeds of anger in Germany, seeds that would one day grow into World War II. So what truly caused World War I? Not just one bullet, not just one assassin, but decades of arrogance, fear, and rivalry. A chain reaction that no one could stop once it began. And maybe that's the greatest tragedy of all. The war was never truly declared by kings or politicians. It was declared by the human desire to dominate, to prove who was the strongest. In the end, millions paid the price for pride, and the world learned, in the hardest possible way, that even a single spark can burn the entire world.